Natalie and Monique. Monique Middlecoff, Natalie Hodson.
Now here's a question I get a lot, is these exercises are really simple and really basic. Can I be doing the harder activities that I'm used to doing and add these in?
Yep.
And I think that this is where our competitive nature sometimes harms us so much, because we think, oh gosh, I could do a V-up like that, like it's no big deal. I mean, is this really like abdominal bracing with a head lift? Is that really going to make a difference? And I am such an advocate for recognizing the benefits in activities that are much lower intensity than we can do, even though that might not be safe to do. So really give yourself time and have patience with yourself. Even looking at, the plan for week 1, saying, I could do this in my sleep. It's so easy.
Yeah.
But when we do them correctly and we activate the correct muscles, that really helps to provide the stability, the support, and the strength so that we can return to that activity really safe. So if you happen to have the eyes roll moment of like, ugh, you kidding me?
Easy.
Like, this is
telling
easy.
you to just walk.
Right.
Do some bracing. But the thing is, it's so important. And the other thing that I like to point out, and Monique has so much knowledge in this area. So while Monique was getting her PhD, she did a huge research study. And what they found is that there was no difference in women who were physically strong, and you can describe this much better than I can. But like you guys were testing to see if women who are very strong and in really good shape have also a strong pelvic floor, as opposed to women who aren't in great shape. And your research found.
Yeah, so I could talk about it all day, but yes, we found no difference in strength between the two groups.
In the pelvic floor.
In the pelvic floor, where we would expect to see huge changes, because we could see one group of women who are stronger, they have more muscle mass, significantly higher total body strength, compared to another group of ladies who are healthy, but who are not doing any sort of strenuous activity whatsoever. Now, I would expect, and I did expect, that we would see huge differences in pelvic floor strength. Like, these ladies know how to contract their muscles and these ladies don't. I mean, sort of our internal bias. And I was dead wrong, absolutely wrong, in the sense that there was no difference in strength in the two groups. We measured a lot of other variables, but that was one of the biggest take-home messages for me, is that if we don't work on it, it does not improve.
Yep.
And if we are working on the tissues around, like we're working on our legs and we're working on our core and we're working on our arms, that we would not expect to see any improvements in pelvic floor strength unless we work on pelvic floor strength.
Right. So I think one of the hardest things is teaching people what pelvic floor means, at least for me. Because really, I knew what my pelvis was, but I didn't understand what a pelvic floor was. And so really having that mind to body connection, looking at the visuals like Monique showed you earlier, and that really good video that we uploaded into the group, helping understand what your pelvic floor is, because you're not going to see it. Like in some of our exercises, which we're going to film later, demonstrations showing how to do every exercise, you don't actually see your pelvic floor move. Your body doesn't move. So, or very little. It moves very little. And so it's a big learning curve on understanding like what your pelvic floor is and how to contract and strengthen those muscles. So